Do you mind my asking, what are you? I mean, where are you from? Do I detect an accent? As a racially ambiguous person, I get these questions a lot. The real question being asked is, what tribe are you from? It is inherent in our nature to want to belong. And when we are born into a tribe, we have an immediate answer. But why stop there? What can happen when we identify with many tribes? Tribes can be defined along cultural, religious, family, or work divisions. And as Seth Godin states, author of Tribes, it can also be a group of people connected by an idea, common interest, or passion. In America, a black passport is our diplomatic passport, and it gives the holder access to other countries and cultures. Those who carry this passport have a diplomat role to travel across borders and improve relations. In junior high, 11 to 13 years old, I gave myself my own personal black passport. During that awkward age in Southern California, I saw cliques form along racial divides. Looking around on the playground, I saw no one like me. I did not see any tribe to join. So, instead of choosing isolation, I decided to join the other groups. I did not wait for an invitation to join. I gave myself permission, my own personal black passport. With that, I crossed borders and spent a week or two with each group. We all recognized that I did not look the same as they, but I did not have to. Even those with a skin and hair like mine, I was twice their height. By carrying my personal black passport, I dismissed any concerns of rejection and simply enjoyed their company. But then I realized I had my first true tribe. My junior high school dance team, we were diverse, black, white, Latina, me, who even had a redhead. All of us connected over our love of dance. By carrying my personal black passport, I learned the power of like-minded tribes. My personal black passport gave me access and license to join any group, whether by race, gender, or interest. And we may be born into that safety net of an ethnic or familial tribe, but that could be a limitation if you stay only with them. So why not create the opportunity to journey into others? Challenge yourself to be vulnerable and cross those borders. You may be welcomed by the benefiting tribe. Joining other tribes lets you break the limits of conformity to discover additional interests. You may surprise yourself when you discover your passions, which in turn build upon your identity. I took my personal black passport with me to UCLA. I was one of 34,000 students, and fortunately, I had scholarship from the Air Force Reserve Officer Training Corps. And through that program, I found my second tribe. Other cadets, like me, drawn to our service for country and wanting to learn about leadership. After graduating, many of us joined the larger military tribe via the United States Air Force. Now, the military is 1% of the United States population. And for many of us, we leave our hometowns. So when we travel, our colleagues and their families become our tribes. I felt this the most in Barksdale Air Force Base, Louisiana, where I served there for the first time as a commander, my office tribe's leader. There, my husband and I lived on base next door to my peers, and we spent a lot of time on and off work together. At different base events, I looked like a ping pong ball, spending time with the other commanders, rubbing elbows, talking shop, work, then running to the circle of friends, the wives, who were my friends, mostly non-military, to socialize. Then back to more shop talk. I only partially connected to either tribe. I only partially fit into them. But that's all I needed to accomplish the mission of connection. And our relationships became as strong as family. My personal black passport also gave me access to tribes where I did not belong. In Louisiana, there was a transmission shop where frequent gatherings of retired judges, sheriffs, and other key members of the community would gather for lunch and camaraderie. My base anti-terrorism officer would take me every month or so, and for $5, we'd get a plate of fried chicken, baked beans, and potato salad. It was definitely a good old boys club, and I was always the only woman. And although I fielded a few odd questions, like how I ever could possibly lead as a woman, they welcomed me. After a larger event, a few of us, including women, joined the transmission shop for lunch again. One of the ladies commented, "Oh, I so enjoy days like this because then we join in." I nearly dropped my drumstick in surprise when I heard her clarify that these events never allow women. I did not tell her I'd been attending, and when I asked my friend why he didn't tell me, he said, "Why? As a black man, there was a time when I was not welcome either." Had I known I did not belong, I would have felt and acted different. Perhaps I would have been defensive, shy, or worse, never crossed their threshold. We can hold ourselves back when we feel we are not welcome. When I thought I belonged, I did. And I learned that there is freedom in being oblivious. So why not just expect hospitality? And for 19 years, I proudly served with my brothers and sisters in arms. And these connections have led me to my passion in security. And then I took my personal black passport across borders and an ocean to the Middle East. My personal black passport led me to earn my graduate degree in Middle Eastern Studies, ودرست اللغة العربية, and I studied Arabic. I'm fortunate to have spent over 1,000 days working all over the Middle East, and that was before my husband and I moved to Kuwait almost 5 years ago. In this multicultural melting pot of tribes, people, and faiths, we resonate and feel at home. Voila. Everywhere I enter, whether work or social, I'm welcomed with open arms. Of course, it's Arab hospitality. The diversity in Kuwait is impressive. And I marvel at meeting many makhlutin, mixed people like me, representing multiple ethnic tribes. When we represent somewhat a variety of ethnic groups, there may be those that try to tell us we're not enough of this or that particular group. But when we carry our personal black passport, we remember that they do not define us. Instead of feeling alien, we give ourselves permission to create that connection, to be part of both and additional tribes. Become comfortable with being different. I am not like the rest, and that is okay. When I moved to Kuwait, an official diplomat passport brought us here, and I became an actual diplomat. The military and diplomatic tribes may seem like cultural opposites in many respects. And my personality, I partially fit into both, and I straddle both tribes. When I go to meetings my whole career, I show up maybe about 5 minutes ahead. Never enough time for my military peers who have been there at least 10 minutes before me. But then, when I go to the diplomatic meetings, I always think I'm running late, but I'm always the first to arrive. I must be military enough. And I'm so grateful for my diplomat cousins for teaching me the art of diplomacy and welcoming me into their tribe. Because that, I'm able to soften my often too direct methods of communication. Diplomacy has strengthened my relationships, which has deepened my appreciation and passion for all things Middle East. And yet, my personal black passport gives me more freedom than the diplomatic one. When we create tribes, after we're comfortable with crossing those boundaries, that's an amazing experience. You can create the opportunities for others to belong. How incredible is that? In 2013, I read a book, Lean In, Women, Work, and the Will to Lead by Sheryl Sandberg. Perfect timing since my career was struggling and confidence suffering. But my life trajectory changed when I discovered how peer support groups encourage professional growth. The book ignited a passion in me for empowering women, and I created circles everywhere I worked. And men also joined these circles, and they became better bosses, colleagues, and husbands. When we moved to Kuwait, I saw no circles. Therefore, I created the Lean In Kuwait network. I get to see a circle's sister's shoulders relax when she realizes it's not just me. When we are vulnerable with those we trust, true leadership emerges. The Lean In Kuwait network allowed me to create opportunities to foster connection, accountability, and growth. And there's nothing more rewarding than when a new tribal leader emerges to lead her own Lean In circle. My personal black passport led me to identify my 3 biggest passions: security, Middle East, and empowering women. Now that I know what is like me, I found the tribe I identify with most: women in Middle Eastern security services. This time, I combined tribes by leading exchanges with American military women and Kuwaiti Special Security Forces police women. And these women warriors bonded over shooting, self-defense, and other tactics and techniques. And yet, at the end of the day, we sat in a lean-in type circle and shared our experiences working in male-dominated fields. We learned that we share the same challenges and dreams, no matter our origin. And perhaps in the future, we can expand our tribe to encourage Kuwaiti military women to join. Inshallah. When I turn in my diplomatic passport, I will also retire but keep my personal Black passport always. And of course, find and create more tribes to join. My origins pushed me out of a comfort zone I never had in the first place. Now, when we identify with one tribal tie, no matter faith, religion, career, common interest, or race, or family, we endanger and enrich life. Conformity can be safe, but boring. So why not practice finding that thread of commonality to pull yourself into other tribes? Become comfortable with being different. Create connection with people and identify your passions. So my question to you is why not get your own personal Black passport? And back to the question of what tribe am I from? Ethnically, I'm half Filipino, almost a quarter Norwegian, and the rest French, German, Irish, British, and broadly Northwestern European. But why stop there? I am also a dancer, military leader, Middle East specialist, diplomat, Lean In regional leader, and woman warrior. So my preferred question is, what tribes are you?